Alrighty, here we go. Welcome to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. I'm Kimberly Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, your net control operator. My pronouns are she, her. This is a roundtable for general discussions and friendly chats. Please direct all calls through the net control station. We meet every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic? If there is an emergency at any time, please say break, and we will assist you promptly. This net provides a safe place for members of the LGBTQIA community and their allies to connect over the airwaves. It is open to all licensed amateur radio operators without the need for membership. We also welcome third-party traffic as well. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group fosters an inclusive environment for learning, experimenting, and enjoying radio communications. We encourage, promote, and support diversity within the wider radio community. We share our experiences and knowledge, celebrate Pride on the air, and welcome all individuals. To learn more about the Pride Radio Group, join us, and gain access to our Discord chat room, visit prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love. Unless you harbor hatred towards us, of course. This net is being relayed on the Pride Radio Network and its affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, Wires X, M17, NXDN, P25, and D-Star. It is also streamed live on Broadcastify, Icecast, and my YouTube channel, searchable by my call sign, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. For more information on how to connect to this network or visit or access to our live streams. Wait a moment. Am I. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. I think I'm a little. It is. Let me start that over. This net is being relayed on the Pride Radio Network and its affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, Wires X, M17, NXDN, P25, and D-Star. It is also streamed live on Broadcastify, Icecast, and my YouTube channel, searchable by my call sign, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. For more information on how to connect to this network or access our live stream links, visit prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. And my apologies if I'm stumbling here. I just barely woke up not too long ago. I slept in a little too late. Anyways, moving on. You can also track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger for Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. That is netlogger.org. NetLogger allows you to log into the net, view real-time call signs, and actively participate. For Android and iPhone users, you may download On-Air NetScraper instead. That is On-Air NetScraper instead. And by the way, scanner listeners and shortwave listeners can also access NetLogger. Alrighty, before we start tonight's net, does anyone have news, announcements, or other items to share with the net and the Pride Radio Group? Already hearing nothing, let's move on to check-ins for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. We'll begin with mobile stations, those sure on time, and those who plan to participate briefly. If you fall into any of these categories, please come forward with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. Feel free to share your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, standing by from mobile, time constrained, and in and out stations. Looks like our IceCast server went down, eh? Alright, I'll look into it. And welcome Xenatax, by the way. Already hearing nothing. Let's take some check-ins from anyone anywhere. So anybody anywhere. Let me stick to the script here. Hearing no response, we now take check-ins from anyone anywhere. If you'd like to join the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, please provide your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. And you may also share your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for check-ins from anyone anywhere. Oh, okay, alright, gotcha. And yeah, that was for you. I'm not transmitting at the moment, by the way. Oh, okay, IceCast was working. Okay, so I don't need to, look into it. Alright, perfect. Oh boy, I think we're off to a not so good start. Do we have any check-ins out there? Any check-ins from anybody anywhere? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for check-ins to the net.
This is Whiskey Alpha 1, Charlie Sierra. Say again, Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Charlie Sierra. Laura in Massachusetts, my pronouns are he, her.
Okay, Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Charlie Sierra, we got you down. Who else is out there? That beeping from Zello was just me making sure that the Zello network was actually working. Alright, who else is out there wishing to check in? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for additional check-ins. Of course, I forget to make the advertisements about the net starting. The notifications, I mean. Alright, I'll toss it over to Whiskey Alpha 1 Mike Charlie Sierra while I work on blasting those notifications out. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
This is Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Charlie Sierra. A lot to tell at the moment. We just had are in the midst of our sort of regional hand convention. It was Skyborn Spotter training yesterday, and bunch of different MCON classes today, which were all very good talks. It was a really interesting time. So, yeah, it's always interesting to see what goes on at the TAM convention. Unfortunately, it's nearby, so I don't have to travel very far to get to it. So, back to that, WA1MCS.
Alright, WA1MCS from KJ7OMO returning. That sounds like some fun there. Alrighty, we're gonna see if anyone saw those notifications, and we're gonna, take some more check-ins to the net. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, and we're standing by for more check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. There's gotta be some more folks out there. Come on now, don't be shy. Pick up your mics and say hi. And spit out your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically, of course. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. We are still taking more check-ins for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. And sorry about the typing noise. I don't yet have a way to filter that out. And remember, folks, if you are unable to check in via voice, you can also check in via NetLogger, the YouTube live stream, Discord, what's the other one? Mastodon. You can also email me your check-ins. My email is kj7omo@gmail.com. That is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar @gmail.com. You can also check in via WinLink as well. And of course, if you are able to get a hold of me on my private social media, you could check in from there as well. We're gonna pause real quick to check to see if there are any other stations out there in the background who wish to check in. Please come now. Alrighty, looks like we're off to a really slow start. Hopefully the rest of the crew will come soon. WA1MCS from KJ7OMO. Back to you to generate some more noise. Hehe. And for me to take my inhaler because I'm having a breathing problem.
We have some noise to generate. This is WA1MCS. I think Probably my favorites today were the sessions talking about um, basically go kits and doing stuff off grid, doing stuff portable, what to take with. Nothing too surprising there, but there was some really good stuff in a sort of second session that the same guy did, talking about portable antennas and how to do various antenna setups in the field, and gave me some good ideas of things that I had wanted to do but wasn't sure how to do, and this guy had figured out how to do it. So I've got some things I want to put together for mobile antenna setups, stuff that I can take and set up, not anywhere near permanently, but a little more substantial than just an HT or a small antenna that I got sitting on the table or something. So it was really interesting to see some of the solutions that he had come up with and expanded on from solutions other people have had for that kind of stuff. So that was a really interesting talk. I will say back to now, WA1MCS.
WA1MCS from KJ7 OMO returning. Had to pause for a moment as I was taking my inhaler. Alrighty. Let's see if we have some other folks out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need from you are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically. And you may also share your pronouns with us if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and I will drop my carrier and see who else is out there to check into the net. Alrighty, back to you, Mora from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Boy, people, I guess we just don't have anybody else at the moment, so it's gonna be the Kimberly and Mora show for a little while. Hi.
This is Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Charlie Sierra. Well, you're going to get the rundown of the different talks that I went to today. The other particularly interesting one was Arden, A-R-E-D-N, talking about mesh networking on 2 and 5 gigahertz, and some really interesting potential there. One of the guys who was helping, the guy who gave the talk and has put some effort into trying to sort of evangelize for it, was saying the concern that, if we don't end up using it, FCC is going to end up auctioning it off to somebody for billions of dollars. So he's been trying to generate interest, and we ended up packing the tiny little conference room that was set up for it, which was a lot more audience than he was expecting, I think. But a lot of really cool implications for what we can do with that, and a lot of good discussions about how to use that for emergency communications. Lots of potential for emergency situations and setting up patch networks to let people send a lot more bandwidth back and forth than would ordinarily be possible using lower bands and things like that. So interesting talk, and something I'm going to have to spend a lot more time looking into. Back to net, WA1NCS.
Oh, this is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Yeah, copy that. It's not nice when the SEC yanks our amateur radio spectrum away and sells it to, multi-billion-dollar companies, cough, cough, cell phone companies, cough, cough. But, yeah, yeah, these companies are just hungry for more and more spectrum, and they're willing to stop at nothing to get their grubby little hands on it. Anyways, as for Arden, I am very familiar with that, and I also have an Arden node set up. Though at the moment it's not plugged into power, but I do plan on plugging it back to power as soon as I'm able to replace my external antennas for it. But yeah, I do have an Arden node, though nobody close enough to connect it to, sadly. Which is not surprising, since I have just a tiny little thing. I'd be lucky to get maybe a few 100 feet out of it. Maybe if I have a high enough gain antenna, I might be able to get some more distance out of it. And yeah, emergency communications is a pretty important thing, and our hobby is very much it is very much intertwined, and not it's I'm sorry, I'm at a lack for words here. We're basically very much tied in with those capabilities. So yeah, if the SEC is hearing, they really should stop auctioning off our amateur radio spectrum. Otherwise, it's going to, start to hamper our ability to provide emergency communications. All right, we're at the bottom of the list, so who else is out there? Come on now, let's shake that tree and make some of you fall off of it. Let's go, come on, let's get some more check-ins here. If you wish to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, all I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may share your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, standing by for any additional check-ins to the Pride Radio Group Net, also known as the Worldwide Pride Net.
Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta.
Here we go.
I say again, Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta. And for those that don't know, pronouns he, him.
Finally, there is someone out there. VK3JED got you down. Good to hear you as always. Who else is out there wishing to check in?
N3 VEM, November 3, Victor Echo Mike, Vance, he, him.
Yes, they're starting to come out of the woodwork. The tree shaking is working. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Got you down, Vance, by the way. N3VEM got you down. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Alrighty, who else is out there wishing to check in? Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. Alrighty, as a reminder for those who are unable to check in via voice, you may also check in via NetLogger, the YouTube live stream, Mastodon. You can also check in via Discord. You can also email me your check-in. My email is kj7omo@gmail.com. That is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar @gmail.com. And you can also check in via WinLink. And if you are able to get a hold of me on my private social media sites, you may check in via there as well. Alrighty, with that out of the way. Oh, and one more thing. If you are not a licensed ham, be sure to study for your license and get that ticket so that you could be on the air. And we're not going to stop pushing you until you do, so hit those study books and get that license. That's very important. VK, and we also have third-party check-in from Xanatex on the YouTube live stream. Welcome aboard, who says hello to all of us, and who is still hopefully working on getting their amateur radio license out of Canada. VK3JED, come on down, KJ7OMO.
Yeah, g'day all. Just got home from training, so slowed down to normal speeds. But yeah, you're sounding pretty awful there, Kimberly. You suddenly sounded very, very overdriven. I don't know if that's just at my end or could it happened suddenly early in that last over, or if you've had a level shift and someone else may be able to comment further if there's been any change on their end as to who has to go looking for the problem. What else has been happening? Not a lot of radio, a little bit of behind the scenes, and I'm trying to think anything. Yeah, a bit of M17 discussion in the background. Starting to make preparations for the practical demo in November, down at a Hamfest on the other side of Melbourne. So you've had an invite from the organisers to do a talk after last year's success, and I've decided to focus a bit more on the hands-on of getting on the air. But looks like my OTG cables died, so I'll have to order another one so I can do the TNC3 demo, and I'll have to get an interface for M17 tools. So I hope the other demonstrate at least 3, possibly 4 different options. More if those from the overseas are able to supply hardware, or if I'm able to buy it from somewhere. Anyway, KJ7OMO with the group VK3JED.
Alrighty, VK3JED from KJ7OMO returning. Thank you for the audio report. I might have held the mic a little too close to my mouth, so hopefully the audio now is much better. N3VEM from KJ7OMO, go ahead and take it.
Yeah, good evening, Kimberly. I think you might have just tossed it back to me, but I'm going to actually have to jump quick and try to catch you on the next over because the baby actually just started shouting right as it was my turn. So N3 VEM, back to net for now.
Alrighty, not a problem. It looks like we had a few Zello users connected, so I have approved their transmit capabilities. So they can transmit on Zello now. Alrighty, who else is out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, and we're going to take some more check-ins before we carry on.
Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, Victor Kilo 2 November Mike Zulu, Victor Kilo 2 November Mike Zulu, this is just a flying high and by there. I'm just about to run out the door to go off and run off and do some domestics. Hope everyone is well. I'll catch you all later. KJ7 OMO, VK2 November Mike Zulu.
Alrighty, Victor Kilo 2 November Mike Zulu, thank you for your in and out, and 7-3, and have a safe trip. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. Alrighty, we're gonna toss it right back up to the top. Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Charlie Sierra from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
This is Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Charlie Sierra. I did hear the same audio thing as VK3JED, but your audio is good now, so whatever it was cleared up. Yeah, I think VK3JED mentioned in the Discord we were talking about Arden networks and mesh networking. And I know for me, the thing that originally got me interested in amateur radio was emergency communications. Many, many years ago, was when I first heard about it. I think it took me a long time to kind of come back to it and spend the time to actually study and take the exam, and which was actually, I did my technician exam about a year ago, pretty much exactly, because I did it at the last ham exposition. So, still kind of finding my way, learning things and picking out new things, and just starting to study for the next level ticket. But yeah, always new things to learn and fun times to be had. So back to net, WA1MCS.
WA1MCS from KJ7 OMO returning. Well, I wish you the best of luck on your license upgrade, and I hope you do well. I, too, am interested in getting my extra license done and out of the way so that I could finally get it, but it is just so tough studying for the extra class. My goodness, they really make it difficult. It would be nice if they could reduce the requirement from 50 questions down to 35, because if it was 35 questions, I would have no problem passing it. No problem at all, but I guess it requires some extra studying on my part. Anyways, yeah, extra studying on my part, and somehow I'll have to force my neurodivergent mind to start soaking up the information and not wander off like it has ADHD or something. Anyways, VK3 JED from KJ7 OMO, over to you. VK3JED from KJ7OMO. Uh-oh, we might have lost him. Oh my goodness, did we lose Tony? I think we lost Tony. We're gonna try him one more time. Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Are you still with us, Tony? I think we're having some connectivity problems. We're gonna sort that out in a minute. N3VEM from KJ7OMO. Go ahead and take it.
Okay, good evening. Yeah, thanks for tossing it back to me. And yeah, I'm now, I guess you could say I'm pedestrian portable. I'm walking back and forth in the basement carrying the baby so she'll get settled back to sleep. And hopefully I don't have to skip out the next couple of rounds. But yeah, glad to be able to check in tonight. I didn't get to listen along much right as I jumped on. I heard you referring to Arden, which I've actually been doing some research on recently. There's a group just to the east of where I live that's been working on, putting up basically a bunch of nodes to get a decent little mesh stood up. And I'm probably just a little too far to reach them, but I think I might put up a node anyway, because at the rate they've been growing, I suspect there'll be a few more stations going up in between. So yeah, it's something that I've been thinking about dabbling into. So if you have any tips or tricks or websites, feel free to shout them out and I'll take a peek. But other than that, yeah, I've just been kind of doing my normal stuff, dabbling around at various projects and working on the circuit boards for the rocket project. So that's kind of the stuff that's been keeping me busy. Back to net, N3 VEM.
Alrighty, N3VEM from KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, that is some good stuff there. And yeah, Arden is really fun, and I would love to get an Arden network going here, but with me being the one and only node, well, there seems to be other nodes listed on the map that are in my area, but I can't reach them, so I'm probably the only one there. Most of the nodes on the map are severely out of date, so yeah, they're probably not on the air. So yeah. Well, I'm hopeful that other hams in my area will get some Arden nodes going so that I could, play around with that network. But in the meantime, we were at the bottom of the list, so who else is out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may give us your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, and I'm standing by for more check-ins to the net. It looks like we do have a connectivity problem. It looks like some of our Echolink nodes went down. One moment, folks. Alright, this is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, your net control station for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Our net has been going on for quite a while, but it appears that this Echolink node has lost connectivity. So if you wish to check into the net, please connect to KJ7OMO-L, that is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, Lima. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. We're gonna switch back to the net. Alrighty. Looks like we might have an additional user on the net. Any other check-ins out there before we carry on? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alrighty, no additional check-ins at this time, so we're going to toss it right back to WA1MCS from KJ7OMO.
This is WA1MCS. Yeah, one of the speaker was saying that at least in the U.S. where Arden seems to get the most use right now is out in like the plain states and areas where things are a bit flatter. Here we have hills and trees, so even on like 2 meter and 440, I have a really hard time getting into any of the nearby repeaters. Shouldn't be that difficult, but just where I have hills that happen to be right in the path of the local repeaters, and I don't see anything on the map that would be remotely close to me for Arden. So while I would love to set up an Arden mesh around here, we would need many people very close by to be able to get a signal anywhere. So it seems to reasonably be something that would be feasible to set up for an emergency activation where people bring their Arden nodes and set up something, but to set up anything over any geography here might be a little difficult. But that's the nature of where I live. Back to net, WA1MCS.
Well, here's an idea. I mean, if anyone sets up a Arden node right up on top of a hill near you, and you could probably point a directional high-powered node over to that node up on the hilltop, and you should be able to, in theory anyways, beam a signal out there. And of course, you could set up a secondary node with a omnidirectional antenna just to serve your immediate local area. That is an idea, but that's going to involve quite a bit of coordination from more than one ham, possibly. Let's see if VK3JED is back with us. I noticed just now that the Echolink conference has been reconnected. VK3JED from KJ7OMO, over to you.
Yeah, we'll see that's worked. Sound like it is. I've put the FT70 monitoring fusion just to make sure I'm getting back to myself. And yeah, just quickly, Arden or a similar mesh network would possibly work around here. There's, the nearest ham's so close we can hear each other's hotspots. Don't think I can quite get into his, but I can certainly hear it in much of the house, his main one. And you should be able to hear at least two of mine that are towards the front that favours that direction. So if we can hear hotspots, we should be able to make a proper link on Arden. So yeah, the idea would work, and there's others. There could be 3 or 4 others potentially within range, and this area's it's sort of a local valley, relatively flat for a little bit of distance, and being a new estate, not a huge number of trees to get in the way either. So, as I said, it's got a lot of potential for that sort of tech. Anyway, KJ7OMO with the group BK3JD.
Alright, we hear you loud and clear again. VK3JED from KJ7OMO returning. And the one major thing I forgot to announce earlier in the net is that our TGIF link is still very much broken. So if anybody is on the TGIF network and they were trying to get in, well, sorry, we are unable to hear you because the link to TGIF is broken. So if you're trying to check in via DMR, please use the free DMR network or the Freestar network. Or alternatively, if your hotspot supports it or repeater supports it, DMR to YSF, and you can connect that to our YSF reflector. So those who are on TGIF, please use the alternative connection methods, and you can find that at prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. And we're going to toss it right back to November 3, Victor Echo Mike from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Okay, well, yeah, and I guess that makes me feel better that I'm not alone with connectivity problems sometimes. I actually realized, I guess it was yesterday evening, that my All-Star node had, I don't know what exactly went on with it. It kind of locked up and didn't want to work. Seemed like everything should be working, and it was one of those where, I'll just push the reboot button a couple times, and then it started working. So I guess these things plague all of us from time to time. So I was messing with that this morning, and it got up and running, and I thought, at least it'll be online for the net tonight. And yeah, with the Arden nodes and the hills, I feel the pain there. That's actually the group that's to the east of me in central Pennsylvania. We're pretty relatively flat here, but there's still enough hills that for that microwave frequency stuff that the Arden and Wi-Fi frequencies all work on. We have enough hills that it's problematic for those. And yeah, I was actually, I was scheming a couple different things. One was my sister lives, I don't know, maybe 10 miles closer to that group than I do, and they live at an area that is a little bit higher. So I was looking at some of the topographic maps and doing those like terrain profile things. So in theory, I might be able to reach that group from her house. So I've actually been considering asking her, hey, can I stick a mast up on the eave of your house and put like a solar powered node on it to kind of get myself connected. And then the other thing I was considering doing was actually at my parents' house, which is only like maybe 6 miles closer to that group than I am. But the advantage my parents have is they have a really tall tower for their antenna. So when I was a kid, home before cable was like the thing. They had put up a pretty tall television antenna tower. So I was kind of thinking, well, maybe I'll stick something up on top of their tower. So even though they're not any closer, they have the elevation advantage. So I've been dabbling with maybe putting a couple nodes up to see if I can reach, and then my experimentation with Arden, or the idea to start experimenting with Arden, the other thing I thought I might do just for fun is if I do put one up here at the house, I might make one a node that's portable then too, because when we go do our rocket launching stuff, you know, we're close enough to my house that I could probably put up like a portable node and reach my node at home. And I thought, oh, that could be kind of fun to like basically send, capture the data from the rocket via the little ground station I have, but then via some Arden nodes get the data dumped back to a server back at home, and just a way to kind of merge it in with all the other stuff I've been playing around with. So that's my Arden experimentation that I've been looking at, and now I've been looking at some different little APRS tracker boards. I've been using the light APRS boards, and at the last time we crashed our rocket, we borked to the APRS board pretty good. So now I'm hot on the trail of deciding if I want to replace it with the same, try something different. N3 VEM, back to net.
Oh, N3 VEM from KJ7 OMO returning right on the wire. You were right on the wire. The node started announcing that it was timing out. So yeah, you finished your transmission right on the wire. I do have a couple of ideas that might work for overcoming hills for and tall mountains for Arden. What if you tether a drone and fly it way up high? Or an even better idea, what about a weather balloon of some sort with Arden hardware attached to it and a big long tethering cable so that it doesn't float away on you, and just send that on up with the tethering cable, of course, way up high, as high as you could get it. That might also work too, maybe. Just a couple of ideas. You'll probably have to check the legalities of all that before you even try. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have any additional check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may also share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar she her, and I will be standing by for any additional check-ins to the net. Alrighty, folks, do we have any more check-ins to the net? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for more check-ins. Alrighty, hearing nothing, we're gonna toss it before we do that. As a reminder, folks, if you're not able to check in via voice, you're welcome to check in via NetLogger, the YouTube live stream, Discord, Mastodon, WinLink. You can check in via WinLink as well, and you may also email your check-ins to KJ7OMO@gmail.com, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar @gmail.com. And if you know me on my private social media links, you may check in via that as well. And if there are any additional non-licensed folks out there who are listening in and are thinking about getting their ham radio license, well, do it. Keep on studying, and start studying if you haven't. If you already started studying, keep on doing that, and eventually pass your exam so you can get licensed in the future and join in on the fun. All right, back to WA1MCS from KJ7OMO.
WA1MCS. Yeah, the drone idea is interesting, and it was something that occurred to me as well when they were talking about, there were a few folks after the talk who were kind of chatting, and folks from the local area that were talking about how to potentially use Arden in various MCOM situations. And they were saying, if you're talking about something like search and rescue, there's just too many trees around here. It's not really practical. But that idea of using something like a drone flying over that could relay traffic is kind of interesting. If it was relaying, I don't know what you'd relay. That was part of what we were having conversations about, was having defined use cases from the people who actually coordinate emergency response and disaster response to things. So we're not just a solution in search of a problem, but instead are, providing solutions that actually solve pain points for the folks doing those things. So, and there was also talk of getting with some of the local repeater clubs and maybe putting Arden mesh nodes up on some of, they've got some pretty tall towers, which might kind of spur things along and make people more likely to join in those nodes. So we'll see where it goes. Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Charlie Sierra, back to Matt.
Well, hopefully it all works out. I'm pretty sure y'all will find a solution for that. And it looks like we have some third-party traffic on the YouTube live stream from Zenitax, who says that their neighbors will let them put antennas up, but only if they festively decorate them, which is interesting. An interesting thing. VK3JED from KJ7OMO, over to you.
Yeah, okay. Interesting you should mention the drone ideas. Pardon the pun, but I can tell you that one wouldn't fly where I am. We're within 3 nautical miles of at least the heliport, possibly, the airport as well. The helipad at the hospital's within 3 nautical miles, and I think the airport might be in a straight line, which means if there's any manned aerial traffic around, we'd have to land a drone every time under the regulations here. So that's not going to be conducive to reliable comms. Anyway, I'm just curious what mode WA1MCS is using, because I'm getting a bit of mixed signals. I'm seeing signs that it's originating from analog, but I'm hearing a very digital sound to the audio, and that combination is sort of got me intrigued more than anything as to what the path is. And although we're pretty free, sort of free-spirited here and don't have any rules, we do have some advice, and that is, where possible, try and connect with a compatible endpoint on the network. The reason is is we've designed it to reduce the amount of transcoding, so it gives you the best audio quality. As I said, not a rule, but it's just a recommendation. But yeah, I was hearing some compressed audio, but yeah, according to my Fusion radio, I was seeing my call sign, which suggests it came through an analog endpoint as opposed to having someone else's. Either that or it's a very new DMR ID is the other possibility. Could simply be that. But anyway, you just got me curious, so be interested to hear the answer. I might make this a final. Got a few things to do. Got to do a bit of online shopping among other things, so yeah, I might I'll listen around and be here for any questions and answers, but yeah, otherwise I'll say 7-3. KJ7OMO, the group BK3JD.
VK3JED from KJ7OMO returning. Alrighty, well, good to have you around as always, and we shall toss some 7-3s your way, and we look forward to hearing from you again, and enjoy the rest of your day, of course. According to my HUC client, the WA1 MCS is transmitting via 969, so it's either FreeDMR or system, or the other one. What the heck is it called again? Freestar. So either that or the other one. But we'll confirm that with Maura once it's her turn again. But for right now, we're going to toss it over to N3VEM from KJ7OMO.
Okay, yeah. You know, it's funny you mentioned the tethered balloon thing. I've often thought it would be fun to play around with a tethered balloon for any number of you know, antenna kind of experiments and stuff. I've often thought it would be fun to, you know, I don't have enough, our property isn't big enough to do anything for like 160, and I've often thought, it might be fun to do like a tethered balloon vertical for 160 for an evening, but I am close enough to a small airport that I would want to check the regulations. I know for like regular ground-mounted towers, you know, I'm far enough away that I don't really have to do any special consideration. Someday I'd like to put a tower up here, and any reasonable sized tower wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, if I start sending tethered balloons up several hundred feet, then I'd probably need to check the regulations and see how close to that little airport exactly I am. But yeah, that could be a fun thing to play with. And if nothing else, I guess, you know, maybe I could just make a mini node and stick right in one of the rockets, and then I'd be able to get the node up, I don't know, maybe a couple thousand feet for, you know, about 4 seconds. So I don't know how much good that would do, but it could be another fun experiment. So yeah, it kind of all, a lot of it tied back to, I think it might have actually been Tony who suggested dabbling around with the little ESP32 cameras. So that's actually kind of what got me down that route of, yeah, I could maybe play around with sticking that in the next version of the rocket as I build it out, and then instead of just normal network, you know, bring it down to a, you know, little router that's connected to an Arden node, and just kind of for the fun of it. So yeah, all kinds of exciting stuff to do. Back to net, N3VEM.
Oh, N3VEM from KJ7OMO returning. That sounds like a lot of fun. Sticking nodes onto rockets and blasting them out up to who knows how high you could blast them up. Well, you could probably blast the rocket up and somehow have the rocket automatically deploy a parachute when it starts to fall. That way it'll stay up in the sky a little longer, and you might get a little might be able to, do some extended testing with Arden or something. Who knows? Anyways, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may share your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, standing by for more check-ins to the net. Alrighty, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in? Please come now with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. Alright, hearing nothing, back to WA1MCS from KJ7OMO.
WA1MCS. I checked it on Discord, but just to confirm, yeah, I'm running DMR from my Motorola HT to my Zoom Spot hotspot, and I am connected by a Freestar. I think I had it set up for TJF some months ago, and had some kind of connection issue and found Freestar more reliable. So that's what I've done lately, and it seems to be working well. Yeah, I think I've kind of run out of thoughts. I've run out of spoons and thoughts, so it's been a long couple of days with the ham convention, so I'm running out of steam. I think I'll make this my final and go wind down for the day. So kind of a good day, good evening to everybody, 7-3 all around. Back to net, WA1MCS.
Alrighty, WA1MCS from KJ7OMO returning. Good to have you aboard, and thank you for checking in, and 3373 and all the numbers. You have a wonderful night, sleep well, and we look forward to hearing you on the next one. And we have a Discord check-in from Kilo Juliet 5, Charlie, Hotel X-Ray, who is in and out. Thank you for the check-in, Abby, and we hope to hear you sometime on a future net, or anytime before then. Oh wait, we did hear each other one time. I forgot. Anyways, I hope to hear you on a future net. N3VEM from KJ7OMO. Go ahead and take it.
Okay, yeah, good deal, and yeah, the Ham Fest. I guess they would wear you out pretty quick. I can't think of the last time I actually made it out to one of the local ones. I've never made it to any of the big ones, like the Huntsville or there's one out west, Quartz Fest maybe is the one I'm thinking of out that way. I know there's a few big ones that would be neat to get to someday, but the only ones I've ever managed to make it to are the small ones in my area. But yeah, I haven't even been out to one of them in probably, well, it was pre-pandemic at the latest, but it was even a couple years before that that I was last out at one of the Ham Fest. But yeah, that could certainly wear you out if you're at those or helping or volunteering with them. But yeah, I'm probably also ought to wind down for the evening because it is after 11 for me, and I need to be up in the morning and get some stuff done, and probably ought to mow the yard before the weekend runs out so the township doesn't come knocking on my door for the grass getting too long. So yeah, I ought to make this my last one as well, and hope everybody has a great weekend, and maybe I'll catch some of you again next week. N3 VEM, back to net.
Alrighty, N3VEM from KJ7 OMO returning. Thanks for hanging out with us, and 7-3, and we look forward to hearing you on the next net. Alrighty, before I shut things down, is there any additional check-ins to the net before I shut things down? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for a final round of check-ins. Alright, do we have any additional final comments from any previously checked in station?
From Echo Link, my name is Dane. That's Kilo Echo 5, Hotel Charlie, Quebec.
Kilo Echo 5, Hotel Charlie, Quebec. I might have doubled with you, but I've got you down. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Alright, Kilo Echo 5, Hotel Charlie, Quebec. Go ahead and take it. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to jump in. I saw an announcement on Mastodon, and thought it'd be kind of cool. It's my first time using Echolink, yeah, I'm just hanging out and listened in a little bit to the net. Good to hear a couple of friendly voices out there. I don't have a whole lot to say. Like everyone said, I'm starting to wind down for the night, so. That's me, Kilo Echo 5, Hotel Charlie, Quebec.
Alrighty, well, we're actually fixing to wind down, but glad that you were able to make it at the very last moment. And we definitely look forward to hearing you again on the next net. Feel free to stop by the network anytime, regardless if there's a net going or not. I'm sure you'll find some folks on here who will be chatting. Though we are a small network right now, so it'll be difficult at first to find anyone. But once our network grows and expands and we get more repeaters hooked up to the network, then we might be able to get some more traffic. But yeah, we have this net every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time, which would be Saturday evenings in the United States. And yeah, with that, before I shut things down, was there any other station out there wishing to check in? Do we have any final comments from previously checked in stations?
This is N3VEM. I'll offer a final comment since I didn't quite slip away from the desk yet, just for the new station that checked in. This is N3VEM Vance you've got on this end, and I have actually run a repeater that covers a few mile range in my town here, and I have it connected to this network basically half of the week. So from Wednesday, I think Wednesday night is when it connects to the Pride network, and it stays connected until like Monday morning. So yeah, second half of the week, if you ever jump on the network and give a shout out. If it's during the workday, I've often got the radio on here in the background while I'm working from home. So yeah, feel free to give a shout out, and if I'm here and hear you, I'll at least give you a shout back. N3VEM, back to net.
Alrighty, and we'll toss it back to the news station KE5HCQ real quick, KJ7OMO.
Hey, yeah, thanks for the info. I also work from home, so I'll see if I can jump on sometime kind of later in the week. I'll be gone next week, but yeah, just see about chatting with y'all and catching up and get to know you a little bit better. Seems like a real friendly network, and I'm glad to hear that y'all are operating out there. Cool to hear that there's some Pride stations. So yeah, that's kind of what brought me to it. So yeah, hopefully I'll chat with y'all sometime in the near future. That's KE5HCQ.
Alrighty, Dane. Well, we're glad that you've found us, and yeah, we look forward to hearing from you. I'll try my best to keep a radio on in the background so that I can also listen in on the network. Anyways, thank you for your check-in again, and 7-3 to you, and we look forward to hearing you again on the net, or any time before then. Before I shut things down, do we have any additional final comments? Alrighty, folks, that concludes our net for the day. Thank you all for participating and bringing fun to the airwaves. I would like to express gratitude to the Waverley Amateur Radio Society in Sydney and the team behind the VK3RBO repeater for allowing us to use their systems to relay this net. Special thanks to VK3JED and VK2WAY for their contributions, as well as the entire Pride radio group for making this net possible. I now release all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to their regular amateur use. Once again, thank you once again, and 7-3 to everybody from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar. Any afternet traffic? I don't think there is. Sometimes we have afternet traffic, but tonight we don't. Alrighty, YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you on the next one. 7-3 to everybody from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. And you have a good night, Xanatax, as well.